thinking of putting in a nice wooden dock right around there. Nothing fancy, just a nice spot to take my tea, watch the sun set over the water, and maybe a wall. Like a wall nice and high to protect my view. Keep out the riffraff. Sluncha.
That was a clip from The Problem with People, which is a new feel-good comedy about two estranged cousins trying to put an end to a generations-long family feud.
It sounds like my family right there. We're joined now by one of the stars of the film. He's also a writer, producer, and comedian. Put your hands together for the multi-talented Paul Reiser.
Oh.
Good to see you, my man.
Nice to be here.
So you grew up here in New York.
I did.
And now you're a Malibu guy.
Now I live in California. My younger son moved to New York, moved to Brooklyn.
Okay.
And somebody said, well, why would he leave California? Why did he go to Brooklyn? And my answer is because that's as far as the country goes. Really get away.
But it's how far it goes. Are you surprised that you are where you are today?
You know what? It's all a surprise. Anybody who tells you they had a plan in this business, like, no. There's no plan. This movie is one of the few things that I planned, that I actually wanted to do, and I had on my little to-do list. I had been to Ireland like 30 years ago. My wife and I went and loved it, and just said, this is magical. And I always wanted to make a movie in Ireland, and nobody ever sent me one. So I said, well, I'll write it. So I had to think, well, why would a New Yorker find his way to Ireland, and I need a good story. And we zeroed in on this idea of family. You know, every family's got something, and you grow up knowing we don't like those people. Why? I don't remember why, but I don't think we like them. They don't like us. So what this movie is, it's really, they're two cousins who've never met, whose grandfathers had a fight 100 years ago. And we grew up not talking to each other.
Still beefing.
Exactly. And in an effort to try and heal the world, at least let's heal our family. So I go over to Ireland and try to bury the hatchet, and it doesn't go well, as you see. But, you know, we thought it's a really fun comedy, but hopefully it's about something a little bigger. Like, why? Why can't people, no matter how small you make the sample group, people find something to fight about?
Well, when you're first seen in the movie, it opens up to you getting your steps in. I'm just curious, is that something that you put in there on purpose?
You know, I got that from my wife somewhere, and I don't know when, read that you have to get 10,000 steps. And it's not like going for a walk. She would we be in the bedroom, and she's walking around a chair. I go, what are you doing? She goes, I have 2,500 more. I go, that's insane. Go outside or wait till tomorrow. Don't do that, because I'm trying to sleep and I'm watching you walk around a chair. So yeah, people have to get their steps in. 10,000. It seems like a lot, frankly.
Well, you're a New Yorker. You should be able to get 10,000 in easy.
You know what? I grew up here, but I've been West Coast longer. So now when I come back, I've lost my mojo.
You're like 3 blocks and I'll
no,
take a
you know what it is?
taxi.
It's like I don't know how to navigate people traffic. It's like, I can't, they're moving so fast here. I went, what has happened to me? I've gotten soft. I used to be able to cut through it, and I was like, pardon me. Excuse me.
There's a lot of traffic on the PCH as well.
Cars, yes, but I'm talking about pedestrians, just actually human beings in your way. I used to know how to work with it. I have to sharpen up.
And I was about to say, you were telling him it took you 20 years to write this?
I type slowly.
One word a day.
One word a day. No, I had this idea, in the movie, my character, he said he loved some movie that he had seen, and it was Local Hero from movie. There's a movie called Local Hero, came out in 1983, and it was similar theme. A guy goes to a little town over there. And I wanted to do that. So I had this idea, and I would sit with it, and the story didn't come to me. And then a couple of years ago, I met a young writer. I said, why don't you write this with me? Because sometimes it just helps to bounce it off. And once we did that, it came pretty quickly. And then we got it made, and Colm Meaney, who's he's like huge in Ireland. It's like walking around the Bronx with De Niro, and Jane Levy, who's a wonderful actress, plays my daughter. And other than Jane and myself, it's entirely Irish cast, Irish crew. And I want to move there. If you've never, it's just gorgeous. And then I said that there. We had this beautiful summer. We shot it in the summer. And Colm Meaney said, before you move, try visiting in the winter. You may find it's a little different when it's raining and horrible.
This cast, the chemistry is off the charts. You guys, it really feels like your family when you're watching it. How did you?
You know what? We were lucky. We did a table read right before we shot, and people said, "Oh, you guys have worked together, huh?" We never met him till yesterday. Wow. We just kind of hit it off, and it was written, and I knew he would really hit it out of the park, and I knew I could do me because I already wrote it, so that was easy. And it was lucky. Yeah, the chemistry was great, and you believe that these guys. You look at them; they could be distant cousins, and like they both. What breaks my heart, what's so fun to watch and play, is these guys are trying to do something good, and they can't get out of their own way. They keep falling into these traps. Hence the title, The Problem with People. We're flawed people.
One more time for Paul Reiser.
There you go.
Thank you, Paul. We appreciate it. By the way, The Problem with People is in theaters and on demand on Friday.